What is up, noobs? Welcome to the Let's Be Noobs channel. This is officially the first Let's Be Noobs video, and I watched a few WWDC videos recently. Well, it's been a few months now, and my mission was to actually begin to learn um, Apple game development platforms and how to use them and how to actually create great games using them and learn like the whole game development mission, how to actually make great games and games that keep people coming back and stuff like that. So I decided to start this channel to actually document the journey of learning and using Apple as a platform for people that don't really have huge PCs or PCs that can compute a whole lot of stuff. Um, I'm sorry for the very terrible video quality, but I am using my um, MacBook Air and it's got its own webcam. So that's one thing. Now that that's out of the way, this video is generally the intro video to the channel and to pretty much what I'll be focusing on. So we will be working with SceneKit, Sprite Kit, Game Kit, Gameplay Kit, and I think this journey is going to be amazing. So let's get right into it. The Today's video is about how to create a 3D scene in SceneKit and view it within an emulator or a device. All right. So yeah, let's get started on that. All right, jumping right into Xcode. You want to create a new project. We'll use a game template for this video. We will call this, let me think of a really good name. Intro. That sounds fancy enough. All right. Click on the next button, and then I'm just going to store this on the desktop because I think that's a convenient place to have it. Let's have that fire up. And then what you'll get is like the default template that you get when you first create a SceneKit project. You pretty much get this on every scene template. Like you get some cool boilerplate code on how to create stuff on Apple platforms. So yeah, you get all of this. I'm really not gonna go through all this code in this video. I'm expecting most viewers of this video to be actual noobs, hence the name of the channel. So, but I do expect people to have a basic understanding of Xcode and how it works. This is where you view your files. This is all the navigators that you get, the debug menu, and all the build time errors and the runtime errors will pop up here. And yeah, but let's carry on. So as the intro of the video says, the purpose of this video is to view a 3D scene on a device or on a simulator. So the first thing we need to do is to delete this function over here because we're not going to deal with touch in this video. Delete this. I'll keep this. I don't know if I want to delete this. We'll go ahead and remove it, but prefer status bar hidden. I'll keep that, and then supported interface orientations. I'll keep that as well, and everything in the view to load function I will remove. Alrighty, there we go. I'll also remove this. We do still need UIKit for classes and view to load and stuff like that. Alright, I'll go ahead and save that. And oh, you wanna also delete this. Just remove it. We are gonna create a brand new SceneKit assets catalog. So right click on the project folder right here, and then go to new file. When you scroll down to the resources, you get the catalog folder. It's so-called a file, but it's actually a folder. So you'll click on that and click next. We will name this, let's see, oh, we'll just name it art as well, because that's what you get with the template. Okay. And then once you have this, when you right click onto this and click on new file, it automatically gives you a SCN file, which is the SceneKit file. It's perfect for what we need. So we'll name this, let's name it intro as well. Intro as well. We will come back to this and I'll explain all the attribute editors and stuff like that a little later after I've added. So our mission for now is to view this, which is called the procedural sky in our devices and our emulators. Alright. Alright, so let's jump back into the code file. And over here, what you need is two things. You need an SCN scene. So we'll create a variable called scene. And make it of type SCN scene. Okay, make it optional as well. Oops. And then we need a view as well. SCN view. Alright. So pretty much an SCN scene presents a scene, and you use an instance of SCN view to view the scene within the device or within the screen, on the screen. So this is a representation of the scene that we have just created, and this views the scene on the screen. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. That probably does make sense. Okay, what are we getting here? Okay, so we'll just name this something else like SCN view or something. We'll name them both SCN view for cleanness sake. SCN view, and then we'll have an SCN scene. Alright. And then we want to create an extension for the renderer, which is pretty simple, and the renderer function is pretty much not going to do anything. It's just going to be there for our purpose of this video. So I'll go ahead and create this extension just outside the GameViewController class. Extension for GameViewController, make it of type SCN renderer, SCN scene renderer delegate, right? And then in here we have a renderer function, and we want this first one here, the time, the update at time, and the time interval. I think that's the most basic one that we need for this, and that's all you need, right? Because we need to make GameViewController its own delegate. So in the viewDidLoad, back to the viewDidLoad function, we need to add a few properties here, which is firstly let's just get the scene property, SCN scene equals SCN scene, right? And then we have a named parameter here, and then we are going to refer to our scene over here. So using the file system approach, I don't know what to really call it, but I totally forgot. I probably learned this sometime in my life. But yeah, we can refer to art.scn assets, if I can spell, / intro.scn. That's this file, this folder, and this file here. So knowing basic file systems and how they work, I think that's easy to understand. And then the SCN view, as I said, this is a representation of the scene, the SCN scene, and the SCN view is what we use to view the scene on the screen. All right. So SCN view.scene, it has a scene property. equals to SCN scene, right? Okay, perfectamendo. All right, and then up here we need to set the delegate properties. So SCN view dot delegate. A lot of this is very familiar to using what's it called, UIKit to develop apps. It's very familiar to that. Hence, you do use UIKit to actually develop games with SceneKit. And then we need an SCN view. So we need to cast the SCN view to the SCN view class. So SCN view equals to self dot view, right? And then we cast it as SCN view. All right. Just add a bang over there. And then Xcode is probably going to crash, so you just need to add parentheses on either side of this to make sure you get rid of that warning. And I think that's it for now. Let's just hit play and see what happens. Whoops. What is up? Okay, wait. I need this. All right. Building. Okay, the scene is not popping up. So let's just stop that and try to figure out. And this is just coding in itself, you know. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't work, and you just need to find your feet and figure out what is going on. Let me try to see here. Alright, seems to be working now. Maybe I didn't look at the emulator properly, but I literally didn't change a single thing. Yeah, alright, there it is. And when you okay, well, I can't click it because I still need two properties here for SCN view to allow camera control, right? We need to write this code here, dot allows camera control equals to true, right? And then we also want to show the statistics, so to view the draw calls, the number of draw calls and the frames per second. So we need to use the show statistics and set it to true. All right. Okay, there we go. So when you click and move around, you should be able to see the horizon over there to see just to show that the scene is actually working, and we are all good to go. All right. So let's move on. Since we can actually see everything, I want to jump into this and talk a little bit about this. All right. Let me just close these off. We don't need those currently. So the ones I use all the time are the node inspector, the attribute inspector, the material inspector, and then we have the scene inspector, and we have the physics inspector. So the first thing that I would like us to do is to add a few objects into the scene. Where is the middle? There we go. So we will add a sphere, plug it right there, and then we will put it right in the middle of the scene. So zero everything out, and it should be right there in the middle. I think I'll go into more details about how to navigate this thing because it feels a lot different compared to um, other 3D tools like Maya and Houdini. Like just navigating is it's very different, and I don't know. I don't think it's the best way to actually. Maybe it's because I'm sort of used to using Maya and stuff. So I don't know. I'll just move this up a bit. We'll take it like to Y3. So it's up there, and then we'll add, what is it? A pipe maybe? Cylinder? There we go. We'll add a cylinder just to also throw it in the middle over there. Alright, so I'm just in the node inspector over here. So that just put both of these in the middle. And I wanna, let's see, I wanna maybe play with the Euler a bit, which is pretty much rotation. Okay, so the Euler is like the rotation or the angle that the objects sit in, you know. So we'll put this at like 10 or 20 maybe. 20. So my intentions are to make it that when this ball drops it falls this way. Just some basic stuff. Okay. And then okay, so that's the node inspector, and then we have the attribute inspector over here, which I'm not really gonna look at for the sake of the length of the video, so I'm just gonna skip this part. We will look at that in future videos. And then this is the material inspector. I'm also not going to look at that, but maybe I'll just add colors to this. Okay, I'll add a pink there, and then I'll also add a young a dark, no, that's an ugly color. That blue looks quite okay. And so yeah, when this drops, it needs to drop and drop. Oh, let's add a flow as well. Oops. I'll have to move this up a bit. Okay. Just like y1. Or not dot 5 maybe. That's too much. Dot 7 will be perfect. And then we'll just add physics to this sphere and this. Let's start with that. So we have physics bodies, right? And we have 3 physics bodies. Static, which makes sure that the object is static and never moves, you know, and whatever hits it, it's very solid, you know. It makes sure that it's a solid object and never moves. And then we have the dynamic physics body, which makes it as if so this physics body makes it means that objects can actually move, right? So that's what this physics body means, and I think these things are too big, but we'll see what happens. So when I press play here, it should fall onto this and fall through the floor because I haven't added physics to the floor. Alright? We stop right there, and then we will just add physics to the floor real quick because I want to see it roll this way. Physics. There we go. And we'll make it static. Kinematic also means that objects can move, but they are static at the same time. So they can move. Think of a car. If you throw a tennis ball to a car, the tennis ball will probably bounce off the car and go somewhere else and probably land on the floor. So a tennis ball, a car, and the floor. The floor is static. It will never move, right? And the tennis ball is dynamic because it hits the moving car and it bounces onto the floor, right? And the car is moving, so that's the difference between these three physics bodies. This one means things can move, but they are dense. This means things are pretty much light and they move around. And this means that this is that nothing will actually ever move. So this is pretty much the floor. This is a tennis ball, and this is a car. I hope I am making sense right now. All right. So did we add? Okay, we added physics to this. So if we press play now, it should just roll like that. Perfect. And okay, so I want to press play. I want to actually press. I want to run this onto the simulator or on a device this time because I feel like it's gonna be a bit slower. But the camera over here needs to like go way back, way back. All right, so let's see the camera view over there. Press play. So this is pretty much what we should see in a simulator. I'm gonna go and run this in my iPhone device. Oops. Let me just quickly figure out what is going on here. Couldn't complete and not able to log in. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and run it on the simulator real quick, and then I'll pause the video, fix this up, and then we'll run it on the celly. Alright, so we can stop there. Alright, so I'm just gonna run this on a device. Go ahead and click play over there. Then we'll just jump into the device. Okay, and we're running at 60 frames, and I think that's the beauty of actually running on a device, is because you can actually completely test out everything that happens and the frames, the draw calls, and you can really optimize your game to actually work very well. I'm just learning all these things right now, but using a device is a whole lot better to test things out. It's smoother and it just works. I'll just run that again. Okay, that's about it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it. I hope that was cool stuff, and I hope you guys learned as much as I did. If you guys liked this content, just let me know in the comments down below. And if you guys really want to see more from this channel, a subscription would be very meaningful to me, and it will really push me to create a whole lot more, you know. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much. Have a great day.